Where do we want to be? Coming out of step 2, we now know where we are in terms of our baseline. This now begs the question, where do we want to be? Let's pretend that you're back in college again. When you started the school year, you had a vision. This is step 1. And your vision was you're going to earn a 3.5 grade point average. Now, you just finished your first semester and you got your grades back. Unfortunately, you didn't do as well as you thought, and you earned some B's and some C's. Now you're looking at your grade point average and you see that you earned a 2.9. That's the second step. Where are we now? We're at a 2.9. Now, you need to decide if this semester is going to be different. And if you've made that decision, we're going to go ahead and try to do some improvement initiatives. You might study longer or study differently. Now, you've decided that by the end of this school year, you want to have a 3.3 GPA. And by the end of next school year, you want to achieve an initial vision of 3.5. This is what we're going to be doing in step 3. We're going to decide where we want to be, both in the short term and the long term. During this step, we're going to perform a gap analysis. This is going to look at our overall vision, where we currently are, and where we want to be over some amount of time. Based on this analysis, we're going to be able to determine what that delta is, what the gap is. So for example, if I said I wanted to have $1,000 in my bank account, but I only have $100 today, well, the gap is $900. $1,000, where I want to be, versus the $100 I currently have. Therefore, we need to figure out a way of what we're going to do to get us $900 more. Now, in the case of our IT systems, it's usually not going to be monetary related. It'll be based on some key metrics though. This is going to be based on things like critical success factors, or CSFs, or key performance indicators, KPIs. Either way, in the business world, we refer to these generally as metrics. These metrics are what we're going to use to measure things and figure out what the gap is. Now, it's important to note here that our vision from step 1 may be something that is totally aspirational and never going to be obtained truly. The reason for this is because sometimes our vision is going to be beyond what we can ever get to. Let's use the example of our college GPA again. Let's say your vision was to graduate college with a perfect score, a 4.0 GPA. Well, based on our current state that we found in step 2, we're never going to be able to reach that 4.0 because we already earned some B's and some C's, which is going to lower our overall average. Now that's fine, we can keep the vision of graduating with a 4.0, but we know we're never going to reach it. Maybe we can get up to a 3.8, but we'll never get to 4.0. It's just the way math works, right? So now, here in step 3, we're going to create smaller goals that we can reach as we try to get closer and closer to the actual vision, whether or not we ever obtain that actual vision in the end. So now in step 3, we're going to figure out where do we want to be, and we're going to set our goals. We're going to agree to those key performance indicators, those metrics, such as the KPIs and the critical success factors. But at this point, we still haven't taken any actions to actually improve, right? We've just set out our goals. But that's okay, because next, in step 4, we're going to begin to formulate our plan in order to start taking some action.